Hey folks, welcome to Fat Off the Bone. We're here at Foggy Ridge on a summer evening, sitting at this old picnic table, and you've seen us cook a lot of stuff and enjoy cooking a lot of stuff. But no matter what all you cook, there's always some things you really like and always some things you hate. So I told Rodney, I said it'd be kind of fun just to talk a little bit about, I don't know, what you really like to cook, what you really hate to cook, mistakes maybe that you made cooking, and just that kind of stuff. So I'll start and say my favorite absolute thing to cook is a steak. I love to cook steak. That's what I think I'm actually the best at cooking. And I just don't like to cook steak for people who like to eat it past about medium. I just, it bothers me. And my wife says, you got to get past that. She says, somebody wants it well done, cook it well. I said, I don't know how to cook them well done. I really don't. But I love to cook steak. That's what I probably enjoy more than anything else. And I used to do it when I worked at the fish camp. Started out frying fish, and after a year or so, worked my way up to the grill and cook steaks. And I remember the man who ran the fish camp tell me, he said, listen, if you burn or drop a piece of flounder, that's one thing. He said, you burn a ribeye or drop it, and we got problems because it's just so much more expensive. So that's probably my favorite.
I guess my favorite, if I had to pick a favorite thing to cook, it would be whole hogs. You know, I cook a lot of them a year, and most people that watch our channel won't do a whole hog. But if we're just going to cook a whole hog, I mean, favorite thing, it's going to be that.
Why? What do you like? I mean, what is it about it?
I enjoy the process of doing it. And my approach to cooking is, if you're not going to take the time to do it right, just don't do it.
Yeah.
Order out or warm something up. But cooking a whole hog is 14 hours.
Yeah,
well,
you can't rush it.
You can't rush it.
Yeah.
You gotta order it. You gotta pick it up. You gotta keep it cold till you're ready to put it on. You gotta have plenty of people that's gonna eat it. It's just, and my number one hog cooking buddy Phil. Even to this day, we've cooked hundreds of hogs together. But even to this day, 2 weekends ago, we were in Richmond, Virginia cooking, and we were still sitting in the truck talking about the vents and the temperatures and do we need to open this one every single time because of the humidity, the direction of the wind, the temperature. You can have your grill dialed in, but I'm telling you, it's an art.
Yeah, no, I see that.
One of my good friends is a barbecue guy, called me. He said I like the video that you put up. He said it's simple, but it's not easy. And you know, I never really had anybody tell me that before. Bubba told me that from Rockstore Barbecue. Just because something's simple don't mean it's easy. And I take pride in that I know I was taught by Bill Eason how to cook hogs. And I take pride in that I don't rush it. And again, I guess I just boil it down to it's the whole process and the event of cooking.
Well, for me, I like it because the whole process, you can't rush it. If you cook, like I love to cook Boston butts. One of my favorite things to cook is a brisket, and you cannot get rushed on a brisket or a Boston butt. And it's one of those things that I tell my wife all the time. I said, if you're gonna cook, or if I'm gonna cook on say a Weber grill, and I'm gonna cook a brisket or a Boston butt, you can't rush it. It's gonna take what it takes, and you better just plan for it and enjoy it. But that being said about the whole hog, don't let he said it's simple, but it's not easy. Don't let that deter you from trying it, because try it, and you might screw one up. And if you do, it's okay. I've messed one up.
Oh, let me tell you, we were cooking one time in Charlotte, and we were cooking for a contest. We were cooking for Beer Bourbon Barbecue, which we were doing 5 hogs that weekend, and that's tough. Got 5 hogs going at one time, and they got to be pulled at different times. So you got to adjust, when you light it, and it's a whole deal. But Bill said, let's cook one without the skin on it. I said, well, all right, you the boss, let's try it. And let me tell you something. When you wake up at 2 in the morning and flames are shooting out the top of the grill because the fat on that hog had caught on fire,
yeah,
not only that, but you got all these other people in the contest that already know you're doing the pit master for the event.
And here you are on fire.
You talk about your cool meter going to red. Yeah, it gets up there. So we out there fanning and cutting, and we didn't use no fire extinguisher. We saved the hog, and it turned out great. But we had took the skin off that hog and coated it in grape jelly, of all things. Now I'm telling you, it made your mouth happy, but it was ugly cooking. I mean, it was ugly cooking. My old fire department skills from my prior job came into play, because we had to break that fire triangle for sure.
Now, when you cook a whole hog, do you ever flip it, or is the whole thing cooked?
Nope. It sets up. We set it on the rack because of presentation. We do it what some people call a racing style. It is the whole hog, head on, feet on. When I close that lid, it don't open for 14 hours.
Yeah.
I've got my temperature probes, and I trust those probes. You know, I used to in one of my jobs, I used to be a spotter in an airplane, and I'd sit back and we'd talk about instruments, and the pilot would always tell me, you got to trust the instruments. So I trust my temperatures, and you get to where you can look at the color of the smoke and kind of know whether it's right or not.
Now, have you ever cooked, and I have, and I'll tell the story, have you ever cooked anything that just, if you do this long enough, whether you cook whole hogs, Boston butt, brisket, or whatever, you will find one occasionally that don't act right. And I cooked I cooked 2 Boston butts one day, and I'm serious. If I wouldn't have thrown it away, it'd still been cooking. I cooked 2 Boston butts, and one of them never got done. It cooked, and it cooked, and it cooked, and it never got above. When I say it cooked 5 hours past the first one, and was still 180 degrees. And I never seen nothing like it. I've never had one do it since then. It wasn't froze in the middle. They were took out of the refrigerator at the same time. But sometimes you just get a piece of meat that just don't act right.
You get that, or you got a grill that just not working right. You can have, let's say, 3 Weber grills. You can buy them at the same time, set them up, and cook them.
Use the same charcoal.
Everything.
Yep.
And every one of them grills will have a hot spot and a cool spot.
Yeah.
They different places. It's the weirdest thing. So that's one of the things that people need to learn when they use grills is figure out where your hot spot is, whether it's a pellet grill or a charcoal grill or a propane grill. You got to learn that hot spot and cool spot.
And they all got one.
Every one of them. I don't know why they're different. They're pressed out in the factory by the same machine. They just do.
Yeah, they do. But y'all have fun with it. I mean, don't, if you ruin something, don't give up on it, because that's just part of it. And I always tell people, if you're just new to this and you've never done it, and you just want to try it, I would say the very first thing to do is a Boston butt, because it's one of the most forgiving pieces of meat in the world. You can, you can do a lot to it and not screw it up.
I was going to say, try a big piece of meat. You got a lot of room for air there. It's got a lot of cooking to do, a lot of time. It's usually those big pieces of meat are other than some brisket, and meat prices are up here. We're in the last day of June 2021 when this video is being made. Meat prices are up.
They are.
Don't go buy a piece of Wagyu.
What's your least favorite thing to cook?
Golly, probably chicken wings.
Chicken wings?
I love them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. If you told me something, the least thing to go do would be chicken wings.
Mine is a brisket, and I love brisket. I love the way they taste, but every time I cook one, it's so expensive for what it is. I am scared to death. I'm gonna ruin it, and I watch it. I probably watch it closer than I should. I've never ruined one, thank God, but to me, it's stressful cooking a brisket.
Yeah. I tend to cook a lot of pork and a lot of chicken type stuff, but wings, they just, I don't know.
Well, y'all have fun with it. Just go out and get your favorite cut of meat and try it. I mean, if you mess up, then so be it. Mess up, start over.
You cook around, you can eat around the edges or eat in the middle. You salvage something.
That's exactly right. Y'all give it a try. We appreciate y'all watching Fat Off the Bone. Hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. And what you say, if you're looking,
you ain't cooking.
There you go. That's right.